he's going to get an extension at some point. But it's funny that the two managers that led their teams to a World Series appearance this past season both have contracts that expire after 2025. So it's not just when this is going to happen, because I'm sure it'll happen soon, but how it will happen, I think, is the question. Because Roberts did have some quotes that made it sound like you've got to get on the same page with value, almost like they've had combos. So he said this on an ESPN pod. He goes, hopefully everything takes care of itself, but it's about value. And I love this organization. But yeah, you want to feel your value. Absolutely. By the way, we have Andrew Friedman coming up on Dodgers territory after our show, if you're watching online. But here's my thing, AJ. Craig Counsell ruined everything for owners, even the rich owners. They've been trying to bring managers' salaries down for years. They've done it brilliantly. One manager just blew the whole thing up. How can you tell me that Craig Counsell is worth more per season than Dave Roberts? How? You can't. And he makes $8 million a year. So
you want to know what the argument was? The argument was, well, Dave Roberts had only won the Astros World Series. Well, now he's got a real one. Maybe not the other one's still real, but, you know, I mean, they got it as, who was it? Whoever we had on the one time, they're like, well, I got a real ring from that one. So apparently it did count. Like, I think it was Max. It said it, Max Muncy, right? But that was always the argument was, oh, Dave Roberts never done it for a whole year and then won. Well, guess what? You can't have that anymore. Craig Counsell, he's never done it. He's never done a fake one, a real one, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know. I mean, for a while, the trend was to hire managers cheap. Joe Madden was the only guy that was getting paid a lot of money. The rest of these guys were not getting paid as much as they had in the past. Craig Counsell, remember when he took that job, he said, I want to get managers back into the managerial area. Because you look at like college football coaches, college basketball coaches. Hell, the Bears just hired a coach for like $13 million a year. Baseball, the highest paid guy is $8 million, and they do 162 games plus spring training. I mean, a football coach does 17 weeks. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think that somewhere along the line, we got to start getting it to where it's, you know, a little bit more of a fairly paid system. Not only for managers, Kratz, I think you'll agree with me, coaches are very underpaid in Major League Baseball for what they do, the amount of time they put in, and the work that they do. I think the coaches need to be paid more too.
Couldn't agree more. And owners say, well, we give them full benefits. We give them licensing. I'm like, that's not an argument. The licensing is not the owners to give. The owners, players give the coaches licensing. Like that's like a players union type of thing. Coaches should be paid way more. They are there so long. But anyway, now who made it more? Counsell? Who made Dave Roberts' contract more? Counsell or Ohtani? Because isn't the stipulation that if Dave Roberts or Andrew Friedman leave, it's just Andrew Friedman?
No, it's option C. It's Andrew Friedman and this ownership group. Those are the two lock-ins. Ohtani can opt out if there's a different owner or a different front office leader. Roberts is not tied to that, but he's still going to get an extension. But how can you justify paying him less than Craig Counsell? You're going to say that's an albatross? That's an outlier?
I don't know, but if I'm Dave Roberts, I'm calling Ohtani right now and being like, bro, why didn't you put me in that contract? Why wasn't I in that contract?
So he's going to be like, I didn't know you at the time. I knew Freeman and I knew the Guggenheimers.
So Andy Reid makes $20 million a year. He's the Chiefs head coach. Cool. Get it. NFL does not make double the revenue in a season than MLB. They are definitely king. They definitely probably should make more because they're leading the top league. I get it. There's a difference in games, and there's probably a difference in importance of coach versus GM, NFL versus MLB right now. But still, regardless of all of that, isn't the easy number for Dave 10? 10 a year based on Craig and being a notch above him and then putting that together over X amount of years? Maybe it's at least 5. You think it's more than 10, Kratz, that he's going for?
What did Sosha get? What did Sosha's 10-year contract come out to? You guys remember? Remember when he got that?
I think it was 5 a year. I think it was 5 a year. That was like 20 years ago.
That was forever ago.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, to me, I think he should be in like the 7. Like he's taken this team to the playoffs consistently, the World Series, the NLCS consistently. I think it should be more. I'm thinking more. If you're only going 5 years, it should be 11 or 12 a year. He's that much better than the rest of them, and the front office is going to say, we can everybody wants to be a Dodger. We can get somebody for $4 a year. We can go get David Ross for $4 a year. And I disagree with it. I disagree.
That's the problem. They're not valued. They're not valued. Managers are not valued, or coaches valued the way they should be, because the front offices that didn't play, didn't strap it up, didn't sit in the office every day, didn't sit in the clubhouse every day and listen to their manager, whether good or bad. You had good ones, you had bad ones, right? But there was always a respect factor most of the time there, right? But if you're not in there every day, you're not flying with the guy, you're not in the dugout, you're not grinding through 162 games with them, you don't understand the value of that guy leading the team, and they're not valued. They weren't valued because of what Kratz just said. We can go get somebody for cheaper because there's only 30 of these. That's the problem. The good ones should be paid like good ones. Now, you have to work your way up to it. But if you're Dave Roberts, you've been in the playoffs every damn year since you've been managing, guess what? You should be paid like that, because guess what? You have something to do with it. I don't care what your payroll is, because you got to balance egos. Like Joe Torre said, he had to balance all those egos on those Yankee teams for all those years. What do you think Dave Roberts has to do? He has to balance all those egos every year to make everyone happy, because we talked about it. Kike, Miggy Rowe, Chris Taylor, all these guys, right? Where are they going to play? Pajes, who are they going to play? When are they going to play? Guess who's put in charge of sitting in front of them every day? The manager, not the GM.
Yep.
Boom. 5 years, 12 mil per year. 2 of that per year is deferred. Do we have a deal?
Anyone?
Not no deferred money.
But that's what we do. Everyone else does. You gotta carry your weight. Who else does the deferrals on our team? Come on, Dave.
Doesn't.
Give me 2.
Nope. Doesn't go on the salary cap. Nothing like that. Or
True.
The CBT doesn't go on the CBT.
The tax. Yeah, sorry. The soft cap. All right, we'll be right back with free agent Lance Lynn.